Today is Friday. Oh boy, here it is Friday. It's the end of the work week.
Can you get it out?
I can't get it out. It is Friday. It's October 10th, 2K14. Thanks for being with us. This is Wayne Goldsboro Television. I need to go out and then check to see what's wrong here. Anyway, hello, I'm Wayne Alley.
And I'm Kim Best. Happy Friday morning. Glad to have you with us.
Oh, yeah.
Today is a great show.
I know. What's going on today's show?
Well, you know, all week long we have talked about the Community Soup Kitchen and their annual fundraiser and benefit, which is the Really Chili Challenge, where we always have a very good time attending. And today, some of the board members and the participants in the Really Chili Challenge are here to talk about what's happened in the past, how much money they've raised, how many people the Community Soup Kitchen has fed this year and over the past few years. Lots of details on that. You don't want to miss it. And then we also have our Center Street Streetscape update, the fourth one. You know, we do this every 2 weeks. We film with the project manager for TA Loving, who is on the Center Street project. He is the project manager. And then we also have someone from DGDC, which is the Downtown Development Corporation, speak about what's happening in the past 2 weeks and what you can look forward to happening in the next 2 weeks right here on Center Street.
Wow, so we have a full show, so let's get right to it. What do you say?
Absolutely. Good afternoon and welcome back to the City of Goldsboro and our Center Street Streetscape update number 4. Thank you for being with us. And to my right I have Elizabeth Rutland. She is from Downtown Goldsboro Development Corporation. And to my left I have Mark Beach. He is with TA Loving Construction Company and he is the project manager of this particular project down here on Center Street. So guys, welcome to the studio. Thank you for being back again today.
Thanks for having us.
Absolutely. Mark, will you get us started today with what has happened in the past 2 weeks on our Center Street Streetscape?
A lot of it's pretty much the same. We've continued on with the water line. We have crossed over Chestnut Street now, so we're not too far from making the connection down at Spruce. We have been pulling up the remaining part of the road up in the first 2 blocks, taking out the remaining part of the asphalt and the concrete that's under it, getting that out of the way, and we've begun taking out the granite curbs that were in the median and getting that to the point of where we're halfway across the road now going down the blocks. And for the most part, that's been pretty much what's been going on, and we're getting ready to start into the sidewalk work.
So that's going to be happening in the next 2 weeks. There'll be a lot of changes, visual changes for the public to be able to see as we move forward. Well, Elizabeth, how are things going so far with our merchants? How are they reacting? How are they doing day to day with all these activities happening in front of their stores?
Yeah, I think the merchants' typical reaction has been very good. It is to be what it is expected. TA Loving's been doing a great job at communicating with us, so we can then immediately send out emails, make phone calls, speak with them. Communication has been really good. We send at least 1 email a week letting them know, you know, this intersection might be closed, and they really appreciate that. We've gotten some really good compliments just thanking us for the communication.
Now, you all have a Merchants Association, correct?
We do. So we have the Downtown Merchants Association. It started last November, and it's been great. They've developed a Facebook page for them so we can post things there. They have block captains throughout downtown, so if some information gets to one and they know their neighbor might not have email, they'll go next door and say, hey, just so you know, this is going to be happening.
Wonderful.
So communication has been really good. And then in addition to that, just to make sure they know that the rest of the city and community knows that they're staying open, they've printed a lot of banners, put them on some of the fences that TA Loving has around the barriers, just to let the community know they're still open.
Right.
So,
and I believe Julie was telling us last taping that they, even when they have special sales or something, you know, unique going on, they'll make a nice large banner and put up there as well, just to draw attention.
Yeah, absolutely. So they're keeping communication open, and then we're paying attention to them through Facebook as well. Most of them have Facebook pages. they'll post things on their Facebook pages, and then we share it on Downtown Goldsboro's Facebook page. So we're trying to let the community know things just as much as possible.
And social media is a huge help.
It has been
this
great.
day and age, you know, from our Twitter accounts to our Instagram and Facebook pages, and of course our websites. Just social media in general is the way to go, but we're also making sure that we communicate with the newspaper. They understand what's going on, what changes are taking place. They're interviewing various merchants themselves and finding out how they're feeling, how they're doing as this process moves along. And as we're talking about that, not just for the merchants, but also for the public in general, on the city's website, we have a Streetscape page that has any bit of information you may be interested in finding out about Streetscape, from the history to the timeline. Help me out, what else is on there?
There's a great webcam. There's a webcam.
There's two,
there's one at the top of City Hall as well as the top of the Paramount. So you can see it from both the north side and the south side of Center Street. And it's neat to go on there periodically in the middle of the day and just see what the construction workers are doing.
Make sure they are working.
Yeah, I told you, we're watching you guys all the time. There's people, there's eyes from all over the city on you all.
Yeah, and periodically you'll see just pedestrians walking around looking, and they're looking in through the fence. And it's a part of history. You get to really see it unfolding. So.
It absolutely is. And earlier we were talking about when you do want the very first time to look at one of the webcams, you may have to download some Microsoft software. I believe it's called Silverlight. And once you've downloaded that once, then you're good to go, and you can watch it anytime. And you can watch it from your phone, from your iPad, and from your, of course, desktop.
Yeah, absolutely.
But that's really a nice advantage that we have this particular go-around, is having the two different webcams, because day or night, if you want to see what's happening, you can sit at the comfort of your own computer anywhere, or your phone, or any device, and watch the process happening. And that is unusual. Can you believe we're in that day and age when we can see what we want to see?
Yeah,
anytime.
It's wonderful. Another question we've been getting a lot is parking. People don't know where they can park now that some of the parking has been taken away on Center Street. So one of the things that's on the website is a map with public parking available throughout downtown. There's 9 lots. It's well mapped out, it's highlighted, so that way, you know, you might have to walk a little bit further, maybe a block, but that way, if you know you're coming downtown and you're concerned, you can go to the website first. So.
And we have signs outside all around downtown that is stating this is public parking, feel free to park here.
Absolutely.
So you'll see those white tent style signs, and you'll recognize it says public parking very large, and that's trying to make it as obvious and as accessible as we can for the public. So the website's definitely the place to go. And if you want to learn a little bit more about the history of Streetscape, why it's happening, when it started, all of that information is right there, readily available.
And then in addition to that, Downtown Goldsboro puts out a newsletter every 2 months. We're about to put one out in October. It'll probably be up on Downtown Goldsboro's website in the next week or two.
Which is dgdc.org.
That's correct. You can also just put in Downtown Goldsboro on Google and it'll pop right up. You can go to it through the city's website as well. But we'll have some history of the Tiger grant and the groundbreaking, telling you how this all unfolded, and then as well as some updates on Streetscape itself. So
very good. Lots of good information.
Absolutely.
Trying to make it as clear as possible, right?
There's several avenues, and someone's always going to miss some information, and so we're trying to make sure we have everything covered.
Wonderful. Well, Mark, if you will give us the heads up on what can we expect the next 2 weeks. It's exciting. I saw some things happening today. I thought, oh my gosh, this is really happening.
A little over a week ago, we turned the traffic lights off, and we're in the process now of taking them down, taking down the pedestrian traffic control there also, and turning those over to the city. We have begun the work on the sidewalks going down in front of the shop, starting there at Mulberry, going down towards Walnut. Now, we have put up an orange fence. We've got a double fence there now to create a pathway for the pedestrians to walk, and we've got a turn-in at each entrance to businesses that are open. And it looks, because of the workers between the fence and the building, it looks like there's no way to access the building, but there is a clear path, a safe path to go down the sidewalk all the way from one end to the other and be able to access these buildings. So just because there's workers in front of them, don't think the business is closed.
Okay,
it's not.
and that is we want to make that very, very clear.
Right.
There is a direct access in front of every single business front.
Correct.
Okay.
And then as we go down we're tearing out the right-of-way curb and the pavers at this point in time, getting ready to pour the new sidewalks, which hopefully we'll start on those next week. And then as we pour them, we'll go in front of the businesses in the evenings after they're closed and pour those. And then we will move the orange fence down the sidewalk with us as we go, so that'll open the full path back up again. Once we get down the sidewalk about halfway, we will be removing the curb at the road, which that should be happening in the next 2 weeks also. We'll start taking the curb and the pavers out that are in front of the businesses so that we can get prepared to put in the underground utilities that go under the walks and be ready to start coming back in and putting pavers back in as we go down. And then hopefully we'll be in a position where we reach the end Spruce Street, be able to tie the water line in, get the pressure and get the test on the water line, and then depending on how long it takes to get the results back on that, as soon as we get released on that, we will start tying the water into the new water lines into the businesses. And as we're doing that, we'll pull the old water line out and pull the old storm drain out and start putting the new in, and then that way we can be prepared to get the road on grade and start moving on down the line.
How will, you're talking about the water lines and actually tying them in with each individual business, how will that affect the individual businesses during their working day?
We'll contact them, we'll let them know several hours ahead of time that we're going to be, or maybe even a day ahead of time, let them know we're going to be turning their water off tomorrow, about what time. It should only be down at the max an hour for us to be able to make the connection, turn it back on. We'll move to, and we'll do one business at a time so that we don't have a row of businesses off. It'll just be one individual at a time, turning it off, putting it back on, and moving down the line.
Very good. And I know we've shared this with all the merchants already. This is not news for them, but we just want to continue to cover it and make sure we're repeating ourselves over and over to make sure it is very clear that we're trying to make this as merchant friendly as possible. We appreciate them being downtown, appreciate their business, and are trying to keep them as happy and as keep our customers as accessible to the front of these business fronts as possible.
Absolutely.
Well, if we do a good job, maybe they'll give us a discount.
There you go. That's a good idea. That's a good idea. So we're seeing signal lights coming down. That's going to be probably one of the most visual things that as people drive downtown that they'll see.
Right.
And they will see, of course, the fence moving down the line.
Right.
And they will see workers constantly behind the fence and understanding that there's 2 rows of fence now in front of the businesses.
Right. And we're also disconnecting the power that goes down the median, so those poles should start coming out pretty soon too, going away.
It's moving along.
Yep.
You guys are staying right on track. It is exciting. Yeah. You know, we keep thinking about what this is going to look like, and just month after month, it's just continually changing. And boy, when we finally start taking those fences down, that's when we're really going to start seeing some major changes happening in front of these storefronts moving down these next 3 blocks. Yeah. My goodness. Here we go. Here we go. Well, thank you all for being with us today. Once again, visit the City of Goldsboro's website for more information. It's goldsboronc.gov. Click on the Streetscape button. It will take you to a page filled with information. Over on your right side, you'll have lots of contact information and different places that you can go to find out details about Streetscape, from the videos that inform you from day 1 to a timeline to a maps about parking, and the list goes on and on. So thank you for being with us, and this is our 4th Streetscape update. Joining me in the studio today, I have Miss Kitty Sauls and Mr. Chris Garrison. They are board members of the Community Soup Kitchen here in Wayne County. They're here to tell us all about their, what is it called, guys? Really Chili Challenge. Really Chili Challenge. This is a fundraiser they have every year. We're excited to be a part of it and want you to hear what's going to be happening right here in your community. Good morning, and thank you for joining me in the studio.
Thank you for having us.
Absolutely. We enjoy talking with you all and your board members every year about the good things that are happening down at the Community Soup Kitchen. Can you all just give us a little background on why we have the Community Soup Kitchen and what exactly it does here in our community?
Well, sure. It was started 35 years ago. We're going to have our anniversary December the 15th.
Of this year?
This year.
Oh, wow.
Since it began, we've served nearly 900,000 meals.
Oh, my goodness.
Numbers are up. This year, we'll probably serve 46,000, and in last year, it was 40,000. So there's a great need for it, and we have many community partners. We offer services other than just feeding, but feeding hungry people with understanding, dignity, and without obligation is our primary mission.
Well, why would you say the numbers are up this year? Do we have any idea or any statistics to be able to support that?
Well, we certainly have statistics that say that the numbers are up.
Right.
Why? We don't really know.
It's been a steady thing for the last several years, unfortunately.
Really?
So.
Well, you all are run by a board, I'm assuming. Can you tell me a little more about how you all are put together and what the structure is?
Well, the board's made up of just volunteers in the community that are willing to give their time, and you usually run for about 3 years. But so many of the board members, like Chris, that have come on, have stayed. They have a real heart for the mission there, and so they've stayed on. And we, have a tremendous amount of churches that support us, organizations, civic groups. We have businesses and individuals, and so we're really blessed that even though the need keeps getting worse each year, just in July alone, they serve 40,000 meals, right?
Oh,
No, that'll be.
Is that our?
That's up through the end of
Up
July.
to the end.
Yes,
Okay,
yes.
excuse me about that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, my goodness. Well,
Sometimes we hit 180 a day,
Right.
so
That's right.
it's a lot of meals.
That's a
being
lot
served.
of meals, and it has hit 200. We have had days that went over 200. I have
amazing.
trouble just with feeding my husband and I. I
I
can't imagine
understand.
every
I
day.
understand.
But it's a 6-day-a-week mission, and then on the Sundays we have churches that rotate taking sandwiches out to feed the hungry. And
So all your funding is
donations.
a total donation,
Total
100% donations.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, and you're still able to feed this many people
That's
on a
right.
regular basis, 6 days a week, year after year.
That's right.
We're very fortunate, and we have a lot of support in the community.
Our community is wonderful. This is Wayne
You're
County
right.
at its best.
You're
And,
exactly right. We've talked about this so many times here on the show that we have, I'm not sure about other communities, all I can speak for is Goldsboro and Wayne County, but we are one of the most giving, community service-oriented communities I've ever been a part of. And I will say that I'm proud to say that I live here, and I'm sure you all feel the
That's
exact
right,
same way.
That's right. Wish we didn't have the need,
Right.
and we wish it wasn't getting worse. And unfortunately, it is. But each time it does, the community steps up.
Right. Well, every year you all have a fundraiser.
That's all right.
It's a fun fundraiser. I've been many times, and it's
Right.
also extremely appetizing while you're there. Tell me a little bit more about this fundraiser and how people in the community could be a part if they wanted to.
Well, here, come this year on me. And Andre,
How about
you
that?
can give this one to the
All
cameraman.
right, all right, thank you. So tell me about how people can be a team. I guess that's how it's structured.
We do invite teams from the community. So far, we have maybe 13 or 15 signed up, and they participate in a chili cook-off. Pretty rigorous rules. They really want to win. We have a lot of fun, but the cooking teams are serious, and the judging is serious. We have a former national chili cook-off champion who runs our judging. It's completely blind. The judges are very serious about the work that they do. We bring in judges from the community, such as the mayor and the chief of police and other dignitaries
Sheriff.
and notables, and they make up the judging. It's our major fundraiser. We have others, but this is our.
It's the only event that we do.
It's the only event that we do. It's a lot of fun, as you know, since
Yes.
you've been. It's the smell of chili starts early, about 8 o'clock, but the public comes in around 11, and for $5 you get to enter and taste all the chili anybody could possibly want to taste. And there's some awfully good entries every year.
Yes, it is. I'll tell you, Wayne Alley and I have been many years, and we've interviewed
right.
most of the teams.
That's right.
And year after year, there's one team that keeps taking that trophy. What in the world? T.A. Loving
Loving, I
keeps
know.
pulling it right out. Now,
They
there's a
didn't-
few-
they didn't last year.
I know. Year after year, we kept going, and they kept winning and winning. And then all of a sudden, last year, there was a big upset and a big surprise. Can you tell us who won last year?
BB&T won last year.
BB&T, yes, they did. They did a great job, and it was some good chili, too.
Yeah,
That's right.
there's a lot of good chili. I always like the ones I like the best don't win. I've always enjoyed the chicken, the chicken
little
chili.
unusual-
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you, whenever we go around and we've talked to the different teams, and last year you had quite a few teams.
We did.
And we go around and we're talking to different folks, and we're asking them, why are you doing this? Why are you participating? And we typically seem to get the same type answers. We're not doing it for the trophy. We're not doing it for the recognition. We're not even doing it because the chili's so good. We're really doing it to give back to the community soup kitchen.
That's right.
And you know, and each team doesn't hear us talk to the other. So to hear the same answer over and over and over again, once again, that's just reiterating what we said before. This is just a giving community.
That's right. Special people.
Absolutely. Now, see, you have your chili hanging around your neck.
Actually, I brought this for you. I'm going to give you this
thank
to you for your ensemble to wear.
Thank you. All right.
But we also have sponsors, and we depend
Right.
a great deal on our sponsors.
Now, how does that work if someone wanted to be a sponsor
Right.
for you
Well,
all?
the main thing is they can go to our website. The
Okay.
website tells about the cook teams, and the website also tells about the the different levels of sponsorship. But we advertise our sponsors. Anybody that gives $100 or more goes on the banner. You know, it's mentioned. And, you know,
Well, your website is communitysoupkitchen.org.
That's right.
You've seen their Facebook page on the bottom of the screen, scrolling quite a few times. They'd love to have you like them on Facebook. Check out the organization's website to find out more details. I'm sure you're taking more teams and sponsors.
We are, and you
Absolutely.
can download applications for teams at the website.
That's right.
Well, this is the flyer that you'll see all around town. The date is actually October the 25th from 11 to 2. There's been a location change this year. You'll be in the John Street parking lot, is that correct?
That's
That-
right.
that is
beside
correct.
Flying Shamrock.
That's
beside.
right, beside the Flying Shamrock. $75, you can have a cooking team entry fee. You said the entry fees and everything else is on your website?
That's
People
right.
can
That's correct.
download that?
That's right.
Perfect. Well, I'll tell you, this is a fantastic event. Is there anything we haven't covered you want to make sure the community is aware of?
Well, this coming weekend, October 3rd, 4th, and 5th, we're going to be at Sam's asking for money and taking donations, and we will have information there too if anybody
Perfect.
wants it.
So you've got website,
Right.
you've got Facebook page, you're going to be out and about in the community selling these tickets. We want to make sure that our community is aware of the Really Chili Cook-Off,
That's right.
which will be held October the 25th, John Street parking lot, all benefiting the Community Soup Kitchen. We need your help, whether you come and just eat the chili, and we get to vote, right?
That's right.
You
That's
certainly
right.
do.
We get to vote on which chili we like the best. Those of us that pay to go in, you get coins. You pick and choose which chili you like, but for more than anything, it's really just for a good cause. It's just supporting the Community Soup Kitchen, and we would like to ask for your help. Once again, October 25th, 11 to 2, John Street parking lot.
That's right.
Thanks so
We
much.
covered it?
There you
All
have.
right,
Thank
we've
you.
covered it.
Thank you
guys.
always.
Thank
And
you.
that's what's happening right here in your community.
That was so much information. Now, that was just great.
It really is. I hope everybody will come out this Saturday and participate in, well, the 25th on the Really Chili Challenge.
Yeah.
And support the Community Soup Kitchen. And once again, visit the City of Goldsboro's website at goldsboronc.gov. Click on Streetscape for all the details regarding what's happening in your community right downtown.
That's right. Don't forget, a lot of stuff going on downtown tomorrow as well. We don't have time to tell you about it. We've been talking about it all week. So if you weren't taking notes, shame on you. We'll be back Monday morning. And until then, on Wayne Goldsboro Television, I'm Wayne Alley.
And I'm Kim Bess, and this is what's happening in your community.